Hey everyone, welcome back to the garden. I think we're finally going to get our David Austin roses in the ground today. This is the little lavender plant that I bought up for a hostess gift. Hidcote blue with a little plant stake. So I'm going to get that planted up too. So I am again going to use some of the soil from our elevated garden bed here to plant the lavender up because it's raised bed garden soil. It drains very freely. Lavender likes it dry, so well-drained soil is the way to go. This is a really small pot, so it's not going to take a ton. And you can see this pot has drainage holes in it. This is just a 4-inch container, so I don't think we're going to need a ton of soil here. So let's see. I think that's good. I mean, I do want it to be a little bit above the soil line, or the pot, soil line pot, whatever you want to do. I don't want it to be way down in there. Let's get that, whatever that is. Try not to get the side of the pot real dirty. I'm gonna have to clean it up anyway. I'm not gonna pack it real tightly because, like I said, lavender likes very free draining soil. They don't like it wet. It was already moist. It had been watered at the nursery where I bought it. This soil, since it's been getting rained on all winter, it's a little bit moist as well. So I'm gonna save the tag just so the person who I'm giving this to knows what kind of lavender it is. My hand's filthy, so I'm gonna have my husband open up the little plant stake, and we'll stick that. I think I'll stick it. It looks like there's more room here, so put that there, and I'm gonna try to get this behind it. I'll just have to wipe that down a little bit. So there we go. Cute little hostess gift. Hidcote lavender with the little plant stake. I think that looks like a nice gift. So since we're trying to get these roses planted today, I just figured I'd pull out the planting guide that came with them, and they need to be rehydrated for a minimum of 2 hours. I don't know if you can see that or not, before planting. So I'm going to fill this bucket up with water and start working on that. So here are the roses. You can see the roots are very, very good. The plants themselves already have growth on them. It's funny though, growth is all growing up because that's how they were laying in the box. I just have the bucket filling up now so that those roots can start to rehydrate. Okay, so this is where the 2 roses are going to go. We have to move the echinops first, and we're going to move the echinops down here near where we have foxgloves. You can see I let them self-seed. We have a couple of foxgloves coming up there. This is the original plant. This is just a phlox growing up in it. We have some more foxglove that have self-seeded there, and these are the apricot beauty foxgloves. So I think the apricot foxgloves with the pretty blue echinops will be pretty. I had wanted to do delphiniums, but since we have the echinops, we're going to go and use them as a color combo. So those are going to come down here. We have 1, 2, and a third one back there. And then the roses are going to go in here. Eventually, these Veronicas may have to get moved. I'm not 100% sure about that yet. The geum, since it's on its own, its mate died last year, will probably get moved eventually, and all these lilies. This is a lily. There's lilies here and here. But since we keep getting stopped from the weather, we're just going to take these projects slow, do what we can. So for now, we're going to attempt to move these echinops. Echinops are quite difficult to move because they have deep, deep tap roots, but we've moved them before. We decided we had to move our birdhouse. It's over there for now. I've wanted to move that anyway. It used to be back down the other end of the bed, kind of where you can see that red bucket. So we'll put it back there. And one of these echinops is going to go where the birdhouse was, because the root ball is pretty big, so we just need the room. Yeah, I've always wanted to get that birdhouse back on the right side of this bed. We moved it down to this end because the birdhouse needed the shade from the Rose of Sharon that used to be in this bed in summers, because the poor birds would roast in that birdhouse. We do have another Rose of Sharon on the other end now. It's not going to be as big and wide as the one we took out, but it will still provide some shade that birdhouse did not previously have down that end of the bed. But I don't want to move it today because we're supposed to get really bad storms and wind again. That birdhouse was pretty dug in here, and we had it, you can see these pretty big rocks down there. We had those on top of the base. So once, of course, the rain and the wind stops, maybe this weekend we'll be able to get that birdhouse sunk back in. You can see the roots, tap roots of echinops are pretty big. I have a feeling that one got cut. It's probably even a little bit bigger.
Making sure any air pockets are filled underneath the root ball.
So we're trying to get the spacing of these roses right. We're going to plant them a little bit closer than originally thought, because these are Queen of Sweden. They don't get as wide as some other roses. They're 5 foot tall by 3 foot wide. So we're going to put them kind of offset in between these two arbs, because they're not, like I said, they're not going to get real wide. So they'll be just touching. So the instructions on planting this is that you need to get, since these are bare root roses, we need to get the holes 16 inches wide by 16 inches deep. That's quite deep. So a lot of soil to remove here, which is kind of why I wanted the roses in pots, but unfortunately they didn't have any left. Well, I gotta say, these instructions for planting David Austin bare root roses are very specific, and we are not being that specific. It says dig the hole, like I said, 16 inches deep, 16 inches wide, which is very big. We have very rocky soil and can't go down that deep right now. We also have a pipe under here that we need to be careful of, and it says mix the native soil in with some compost or well-rotted manure. We don't have any of that. They're going in the ground. I'm sure they'll be fine. We have another rose planted on the other side of this bed, right over there. Now that was not a bare root rose, but I've never added compost to that hole or anything. I don't even think I fertilized the poor thing, and it does fine. I'm not too concerned about that, but you can see the amount of dirt that we've had to dig out of these holes to get it at least close to 16 inches deep. I hope they're worth it. So some of the soil that we have here is a little bit darker. I'm putting that into the holes. It's the years of the mulch in this bed breaking down, creating a better soil. So even though a lot of it is red clay, some of it's darker, enriched soil. This bed's been here since 2016, so since we've been mulching it now for 8 years, some of the soil, at least that came off the top layer, is pretty good. So I'm confident. Plants are tough, and I feel like you don't need to get completely and totally specific with a lot of plants. They will survive. So we'll show you the final product. Unfortunately, we don't have any mulch. We have not even thought about mulching yet, but we'll show you the final product with the 2 roses in the ground and the 3 echinops moved to their new home. So we got the 2 bare root roses in. You can see where they're located. Like I said, it doesn't look like much now because we don't have any mulch. We're just going to spread the dirt out, get rid of the extra, probably take some of the leaves we haven't cleaned up yet and cover some of this dirt because we are yet again getting heavy rain tomorrow night. But I do feel like the Veronica and the phlox need to come out. I was going to try not to move them. I just think it makes the bed look too busy, at least planted the way it is right now. Maybe we'll see once we get the catmint along the edge here. I mean, that's the plan, catmint. We already have some Walker's Low from another bed that needs to be transplanted. So right in front of this bucket, 3 catmint. And then a couple of wee white hydrangeas. Again, that geum needs to be moved. Not so sure about the daffodils. I guess once we get the other plants over here, we'll see how it looks. But I feel like, I don't know, the Veronica are not evenly spaced. They've kind of outgrown the space here. There used to be 3, I thought. I think there's only 2. But I feel like my plans for all of my beds anymore are to be simpler, not more busy. And I feel like the more plants you have, the busier it is. I just want more formal. The less is more theory. So this bed still needs some work, transplanting, etc. But at least we got the roses in. So stay tuned for the continuing transformation of this bed. Hopefully we'll have it soon. See you in the next one. Bye.